You don't say this word if it come leaders will be hard. One of the hardest leaders be North Korea in leader. And this leader was seen on TV, Charlie. They cry to him people. Why? Make them born for him. Make them born for him. And people know they born for him. You know, this is sauce and pepper. But before we go into the details and dish them out with the juicy stuff, do you think his emotional plea is a reflection of a larger global trend, especially in countries that are facing declining in birth rate?
Look, very soon, all presidents will be crying for people to born for them. It won't be the cry of grandmothers or wannabe grandmothers and people's parents and in-laws will be crying anymore. The presidents will be crying too, because Charlie, raising a child in this world today is a difficult issue. Our parents might not have complained about it, but you see the toll that you had on your mother. All the sacrifices she had to do and all, literally her world comes to a stop. So that, especially in an environment where there's scarcity, the parents cannot chase their dreams if they have to allow and finance the dreams of their children. So it's becoming increasingly an unpleasant thing to do. If you go to countries like South Korea, which is North Korea's neighbor, where they have more money, their economy is stronger, the per capita income is bigger, education is higher. A lot of the young generation are not having children. In fact, they are having underpopulation, which means that more people are dying in that country than new people being born. So it's a trend that will get everywhere. My key question here is, the president who is crying that people should give birth to more, is he going to look after the children for them? That is the key thing. And this question is not only to the president, it's to every, society as a whole. Now, people should be incentivized to have children. As Elon Musk said, that the biggest threat to this world or humanity is underpopulation, means that increasingly more people would decide not to have children in future. It means the few people who would decide to have children should be given lots of incentives, because right now you are not giving birth just for your sake. You are giving birth for the sake of humanity. So if I'm doing that, then humanity better pay me, or better make it make sense to me, give me some incentives. But that's the opposite we have today, which is women who have families, women who have children are actually at a disadvantage when it comes to looking for jobs. They might not tell you in that interview, but one of the reasons why you will not get the job is because you have 2-3 children. The employer is looking at the fact that you might not be able to do late hours. You might not be able to take extra shifts. So they want younger people.
Even the younger one is if you're at your birthing age.
Exactly. Okay. But it's a disadvantage. Something that should actually be an advantage, because you are doing it on behalf of humanity and the human race. You know, like pro-children people will say, oh, we need to continue the human race. At whose cost?
But if they are not continuing the human race, will you be sitting?
I didn't have any control over coming. No, that's the thing. Oh, you don't have control over whether you come or not. But when you come, your life is your responsibility. You have to survive. You know. So that's what we are trying to do. But as to whether we wanted to come or not, perhaps wherever we were, crab was nicer than this place.
You do not exist. Science says you do not exist.
It's only science you believe in.
Science is
we will go into why the world needs more children. But before we go into that, I want to ask you, do you think this emotional appeal will actually have any impact in how the citizens see their leader and the need to give birth to more children?
I think for somebody who has lots of power to be that vulnerable
Nalado has something to learn from you.
means it's important to him. And then you see, study shows that when people understand why you ask them to do stuff, they buy into it better. So then you become a leader. You are not what's the opposite of leaders?
Followers?
No, bosses, or like you don't lord over them. To lead people, they have to understand the goal. So then they are followers. So then they've bought into your mission and your vision, and then they are following you. So it was an empathetic call. He was empathizing with them, the woman first. So see, the only part that is trending is the fact that he was crying about, but he was empathizing with them because he understands that women carry the burden of raising kids. So he says that it should be a national thing together. Like, let's build the family together. Let's raise the kids together. So maybe from this, he will come up with a policy that lightens the burden on women so that women can do more. But I think his people, because when you were the women were also like literally shedding tears when he was.
The older women.
That's true. The older women were shedding tears.
Right.
Like, it gave them an emotional connection to their leader, which is like really, really cool. Because somebody will say, I think Twitter was asking her, but why is he crying when he can just like it's not Korea, criminalize not having children.
With the punishment of 100 years imprisonment. I know a president would have done that, and it would have been much easier.
Do you guys
He's not a communist leader.
Stray bullets. So people are just shooting stray bullets just like that.
How do you call it? But he didn't do that. He decided to go there. Let's have a conversation. This is why we have to. And for them, I think for the little research I did, for them, physical labor is important. So human resource is actually very important to them because there are so many trade bans on North Korea.
Exactly.
So if they don't have the people to do their own things, they will be stranded. And I don't think they also open up for immigration in flood like the way other countries do. I think Asia actually doesn't. The whole Asia continent has a whole lower growth rate then. So that one, but for North Korea's president, I don't think it will have anything the way that people look at. If anything, they'll give him, like, they'll have much more respect for them. And this will actually make the women reconsider, especially, they can only reconsider if the policies since he says it should be a government, like let's all raise the family together, I said together thing, probably he'll bring up policies that will make them do it.
For me, I keep saying there's a lesson to be learned. If you look at the trend, so we're talking about South Korea because South Korea has made the news for this particular reason that the younger generation 10 years ago did not want to have children, and the BBC had to do a documentary asking people why they do not want to have children, and lots of them said they want to further their careers, they want to travel around the world and all of that. It draws the emphasis to one thing: the price women pay for having children, the price people pay for having children is becoming a lot more expensive when you now understand what quality of life means.
Right.
And on another show that we do, Annie Ice-T, we have this same topic: are children assets or liabilities? And you realize that the main reason why people used to have children before is not actualized anymore. A lot of us, when we have the means to get out of our homes, our parents' homes, when we think we become of age, it's only a few people who take that decision, that deliberate decision, say no, I'll stay with my parents for companionship. We are all quick, we all want to get out as quickly as possible, but your parents had children because of companionship. They will not get that. Today the economy is really difficult for your children. They are lucky to even find a job to feed themselves, yes, let alone, have enough to look at. And those same children are having conversations on platforms to find out if it's right for you to make them your pension plan or not. So that one too is out. You get my point? So having children is not, then the next argument is just, let's to perpetuate the human race. And that's why I'm saying that then it becomes a sacrifice for the entire human race. And there has to be incentives. People should be forced to hire people parents, people who have children. Make sure that the world of work is easier for them. For that reason, there should be social interventions that not just because the person is a poor mother, a poor parent. There should be social interventions just because the person decided to have children. Because right now it's not becoming attractive to have them anymore. It's not that cute. Okay, so there's the statistics, for example. So the reason why the communist leader of North Korea is crying is because
he just shed a tear.
He's crying. So the fertility rate in his country is dropping from 1.88 per mother in 2020 to 1.76. And before that, in 2014, it was 1.20.
That's South Korea.
Okay, no. Okay, so that's for North Korea. North Korea is 1.88 in 2020 to 1.76 in 2022. And South Korea is like the country with the least fertility rate. And that's for them, they just want to chill in this world. 1.20 in 2014 to 0.78 in 2022. They're Charlie, don't even use childbirth to go past their life.
Was it South Korea that we checked that had the negative growth?
Yes.
At some point.
And that population, more than people who are born.
So we are going to look at the president, Kim Jong Un, as a person and his style of leadership, which influences all of these things. But before we go into that, I would want to ask, so how affordable is it to incentivize people to give birth? Because people like Elon Musk have said one of the most threats to the earth is
civilization
is not having children.
And global warming is bigger, but he says it's bigger than global warming.
So you can tell the gravity.
It has to be treated in the same category.
And how many countries?
Environmental, whatever, and then climate change and whatever it is. Because anything that's a threat to humanity must be incentivized. Anything like the solution to that must be incentivized. It has to be seen as a civil issue.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Okay. A social civil issue. Okay. So parents, if you are there and you are giving birth, please, you deserve more than society is giving you. Actually now, it will be very difficult to continue the social support. Women will say, oh, you can do it. You can balance the two if you have social support. Please. Now, grandmas are getting educated. Grandmas know that after they cross 60 years, that's the enjoyment time of their life. Especially when they suffer through the beginning of life stage, which is 40 years. When they get to 60, they want to enjoy life. They don't want to carry your babies.
They're going on trips,
all of those things. Very soon.
Yeah.
And it means getting nannies to be expensive. It's not expensive. Realize that, Charlie, if anybody desires to give birth, like the whole world should just say, hey, let's stop everything and just come and congratulate the person. And then let's take money from everybody and give it to the person. That's where we need to get to.
Right.
Well, I think it's a serious issue because no wonder the Bible said we should give birth as many as the sand at the beach because because if imagine if some of us we have like 11 13 yes they have 11 uncles, 10 aunties, but when you come there realize that I think the trend has always been there. From the great-grandparents, the numbers they gave birth to their children, the numbers they gave, there has always been a decline.
Right.
There has always been a decline. So yes, we are getting closer to that part where people are saying, Charlie, and for a place like South Korea, career growth or like career achievement is ahead of everything. Like they are very driven. Like over there, if you're not a doctor, if you are not a scientist that has brought some innovation, you are just an accountant. You are low level, like they don't.
People commit suicide
just because they are like they are regular people. Like the level of attainment to get to that. So of course, if I'm on that track, I won't want to be sidetracked. So definitely they need to put in incentives. Like I don't want to come and like I'm on a very good, but then someone come and be looking down on me because
right. You know, there are other school of thoughts that believe that the President Kim Jong Un, his global image is seen as a man who is authoritative, is not open to other economies and all of that. And this is to both of you. Do you think we wouldn't, or the country North Korea wouldn't be where they are if he had opened up more to other even trade, you know, relations and even human investment and all. So before you jump into it, if you are enjoying this, please don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments at the comment section.
Well, I think South Korea is a bit flexible, but theirs is even worse than North Korea. So I really don't. I think it's a whole. I guess I'm telling you that just Google the continent Asia and growth rates and birth rates. Since that whole World War thing where there was a plan to actually intentionally reduce birth rates, I think people just became comfortable with having less children.
Right.
Do you get it? Because if I grew up in a home where there was only 2 children, why would I want to come and have 3 children? I'm either doing 1, maybe 2. I would have seen 2 was too much for my mom, so I'm doing 1. And then my child sees I did 1 and 1 was too much, and she does 0. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So that is that. So it's a whole continent issue. So yes, of course, opening up and not being they are communist thing. I can't go and say some, but
why?
I really don't have lots of.
Making a good point that the country that's not communist even has the worst fertility rates, right? They even have underpopulation at some point. So it solves a short-term problem that says that, well, even if North Koreans are not giving birth, they still have population, workforce, and all that. But North Korea must be attractive to the third party to go to.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different conversation. They've built a wall around their country. They are in it.
No, but like actually, so it's on the BBC.
Nobody knows
BBC,
what is happening there. And that's what's working for them fine. But in this particular issue of childbirth, it's a global thing.
It's
very
beyond
soon, very soon.
I think you should. The Gen Zs are actually not going to have lots of children.
Yes.
I think millennials might be the last, but that might have 2 or more children because, like, we are so driven with self-attainment than family orientation and family attainment. I think everybody is looking career. What am I doing for me? But if you're on that trajectory, we are going to be in trouble. So kudos to the Elon Musk of our time who are having 11 children.
We should avoid that trouble. That is the point. We are going to be in trouble. I am not going to bear that sacrifice for we to be safe. No.
So the we that are going to the
someone should bring me money. Like
so you mean like the government should
give me money? Tell me that this is incentive. Give me to 5. I can do that for you. But as we are here now,
but Ghana is actually
to hell.
Ghana is also going through it gradually because you just look at it.
Support. That's the point. Having children is expensive, especially when we have these public sector stuff. So once you have children, you are emotionally invested in your children. You don't take them to the public school that the government is providing.
Which is not doing well.
Even if it's not taking care of the Ghanaian child well enough. How much more me? My sister, my brother.
You know, if you are enjoying the conversation, don't forget to let us know what you think. Your contribution is always welcome.
So I want to ask a quick question before I go. So is it that our parents, they didn't know what quality of life was?
It was defined differently. You see, at the time, they didn't question a lot of what the societal norms. If your mother saw what the opposite of having this amount of children was, tangibly, I'm sure she would have chosen it. But society glorified people who married, had X number of children, were housewives, and took good care of those children.
So that was
the glory of a mother, a woman, then is how well their children are doing. Today, it's not like that. Please. Today, we don't even want housewives. We want women who contribute too. How can the woman do it? How can a woman do it?
But women are doing it. Just all can do it. They're struggling,
exactly. Right? How are they doing it? It takes a lot. something will sacrifice. Look, women will tell you can do it, or trust me, go and look at their kids. Their kids are watching pornography. Their kids are, because they are not there. It is nannies and maids who are looking after their children. Trust me, it's not one of them gives.
So, so here at Sauce and Pepper, we just don't discuss. Now we all agree there's a global problem of, you know, declining.
Don't come and ask me, so what should we do?
So yes, exactly.
But we've said that from the beginning. The headline
should pay people.
Pay people to have bloody kids. And so the same way you are going to pay an NGO that is recycling plastic so that it doesn't end up in the sea. The same way you are paying people who are having green initiatives, so you are not using fuel to destroy the ozone layer the more. Pay people, as Elon Musk says, pay people to avert civilization catastrophe, and they will born. I know someone called Mama V.
So, do you agree that people should be paid to give birth? Let us know if you agree. Yes, so do you agree? Do you agree that we should pay people to give birth? Well, if you do, let us know in the comment section. This has been another episode of Sauce and Pepper. We hope you enjoyed this one.